This is the sixth small group discussion with J. Krishnamurti in Gstaad, 1964.
Where do we start?
What is action?
Well, is there a different action?
Please, you begin to set the ball rolling.
You say that this action is casual.
No.
Is it casual?
No.
It happens without the willpower.
No, sorry.
The question was, is there an action which is different
From the animalistic action.
from the animalistic? That's all.
That's
That's
accumulated mechanical
We also discussed previously the act of looking totally the mountain from emptiness. And I'm asking, is this action, is not this action? Have I missed it? Is that clear?
So what do we mean by action?
Any movement of life.
What is generally meant is an action which is based on planning it, going on, doing something in time, changing something from what it is into something else, based on memory, on technique, on things which I've learned, etc. That is what is generally called
The usual
action.
Yes.
Now the question is there an action which would not be previously planned, which is not planned in time?
No, you're going you are merely opposing it.
Yes?
No, I'm not doing that. We said yesterday there was the animalistic action. The squirrel, the animalistic action. Is there any other action? And what do we mean by action? If you say there is something quite opposite to it, it is still part of the old action.
To be conscious is action.
What do you mean by action? You work a little bit, sir.
Action seems to me all forms of volitional movement moving from a centre outwards.
I'm not here. How would you... What is action?
There is a French expression, prise de conscience. Prise de conscience may be translated by being conscious before disturbing it with thought. Before thought actioning this movement. So I'm asleep and out of my sleepness I awake, I see something, and before I start thinking, acting, the contact between the fact and myself.
So before we verbalize it, that's what you're doing right
Yes.
away. The very verbalization is part of action. Of course. Now, stop verbalizing. I'm not being authoritative or imposing or etc. etc. I'm just asking myself, what is action? You are trying to, aren't you, sirs, telling me, verbalizing, so that I understand what you mean by action. Of course, what you mean by action. You think of something and you verbalize it and tell me. That's part of action. Isn't it? Now, before you verbalize it and to communicate, what is action? I wonder.
C'est pour ça que je dis conscience.
Bien, continuez.
Non, on avait parlé.
You're asking in the sense of not reaction, action.
No, this is what we said yesterday, didn't we? We said that as far as one can see, there is a great deal of the animal in us. And that the activity of that animal is what we call action, generally. Collecting, discarding, organizing, planning, remembering, communicating, all that. And we said, is there any other activity other than the animalistic? However refined that animal be, is there any other activity than the most refined animal and the crudest form of animal? That's where we left off. And I'm asking myself, what is action? Is there any other type of action? Or is there no action at all except that, the animalistic? And if there is, what is action? You understand? What is action? Now, I think of something, verbalize it, to tell you. That's part of action.
Yes.
And so on, so on. Now, go behind that, if one can, and say, what is action? Is it all a verbalization, a communication? Wait. Is it all a matter of collecting, discarding, denying, accepting, suspicious? You follow? Is there any other activity other than the known movement of the animal, highly refined, subtle, and I believe that's what we are caught in. You follow? And we don't seem to get out of it. And if that activity however subtle, however refined, however glorified, however noble, ignoble, and all the rest of it, as long as we are, the activity of that exists, all action is only translatable in those terms. Now I'm asking myself, what is action if that is not it? And if there is an action which is not that, then what relationship has that action to the animalistic activity? Or it may have no relationship. And what significance has that activity, which is not the refined animalistic, to the animal activity?
Once we realize and we see that all this action is the mechanical and the rest, well, we are left with
No, wait, not we are not left. Wait a minute. So if you realize it, then you'll also realize, you'll also ask yourself, what is action then?
Well, all I know is that I won't be a slave to it anymore.
And no,
No, not a slave to the animalistic.
no,
action.
no, not I or leave I. What is action apart from that? Is there any action? I brought up this question. None of us did, except the speaker did. He said, "What is action? If that's all that we know of, is that all?" We are trying to find out. So to find out, how do you find out? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. How do you inquire? From the animalistic?
No,
That's a suggestion, yeah.
No. How do you understand? How do you inquire? The animalistic must be completely quiet. Huh? Isn't it? That, say, well, that has its place and I leave it there. Can I do that? When my whole brain cells for centuries have functioned in the animalistic world, and suddenly you're asking me to put all that aside and look what is. I don't think we realize how different, what we're just playing with it. You see, in India, they're very concerned about action. Because they've got all this philosophy of action and, karma and all the rest. And that's the first question they pop up with. Because it's social reform, poverty, feeding the poor, inefficient government, and there's centuries and centuries of poor soil. all that contributes to the inquiry of what is action. Now, they will answer it, or some of them do answer it in terms of sociological, scientific, historical, and traditional karma. You follow? And when we are asking the question, what is action? I think one has to find out if the animalistic activity is genuinely at an end. Not carrying that over subtly. And I think probably that's the difficulty.
One's always got you wanted.
Yeah. The animalistic activity, we said, was food, clothes and shelter, and breeding, reproduction. Can I look at it so objectively as a fact, and I can only look at that fact when I know their real significance freely. Therefore it doesn't impinge on my mind all the time. I don't know if I'm making myself clear. I need food, clothes, shelter, sex, if one needs it. What else? That's about all, isn't it? Huh? And work, which I work in order to get some food. There it ends. Why do we bring it over into the psychological realm? The whole of that. Because, if I may proceed, I don't think we have completely understood this whole business of accumulation. I do need to accumulate food, clothes, shelter. That's all, that we won't dispute. We won't even go in. That's a natural thing that's necessary. Now, do I need any other form of accumulation? That is, do I need any psychological accumulation? It's not you're agreeing or disagreeing. Do I need it? You follow? If I don't need it, I throw it out of the window.
One query I would like to. I think we need knowledge too. I'm not sure. We need knowledge in order to do our work. Or to
That's all right. That's, we said, labor.
This would come.
Of course, labor, technique, earning a livelihood, knowledge, apprenticeship. You know, the whole, when I said earn a livelihood, implies all that. If I didn't know, I'd be just digging in the ditch. So, digging in the ditch and cooking or being the greatest scientist is matter of function and not matter of status.
Yes.
Wait. Oh, of course, I'm sorry. Huh? All right? Function and status. We mix function with status, right? And of course, of course. You can see how it goes. The more knowledge you have, the more important in the society.
Le statuto personale.
Status,
Statuto personale.
status, and function.
Psychological byproduct.
Function. Why don't we keep function, the animalistic, you follow? Function. In that I need to have technological knowledge, how to build a house, how to run, etc., etc., etc. Status, I derive status from that.
To make me important.
The status, you know what is all implied. Daimler, or a Rolls Royce, or a Ford, whatever it is. Status. Mercedes Benz. You know what we are doing, sir? We are being very factual. Therefore, there is no emotionality. Therefore, there is clarity of perception. So I say to myself, the activity of the animal is right. Make it as pleasurable as, so the world has food and all, not just all that. Now, and that, I won't bring that to create a status for myself or for anybody. You follow, sir? For anybody. I won't make you my God. I don't know, huh? So, a painter is a painter. I'm not going to make him a supreme entity or a most artistic entity. You follow? Put him all right. Then, not carrying over, not giving status to function, then I'm asking myself, what is action?
It's very simple.
Go ahead, sir.
I can't quite say. I mean, it's just observing.
You mean life outside the field of thought? Thought being the animal. Thought as a reaction, thought as a remembrance. Thought is the result of the animal. So it must be something outside the field of thought, if there is such an action. And we can't approach it through thought.
We probably come to thought because of status, you see, that
Well,
the question is
status is just thought.
Yes, but there's
Status is the thought I give, the importance I give to myself.
there's a drive in status, which, I say, some thoughts may have very little drive in them, and some thoughts have an intense drive.
Urge.
An urge, you see, and
Yes, but still it is a movement of thought.
But please, what has it been done just now? The disentanglement psychological structure from what Krishnamurti has been saying, isn't that action?
Sure.
Well, please.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. That's all.
Isn't that?
No, that's all obvious. That's obvious. As when we said the communication, design, remembering. That's remembering, design, and communication is what is generally called intelligence. Generally. And that intelligence can be highly developed in the scientist, in the super scientist, you know what I mean? Or just ordinary common garden intelligence. All right, you are not meeting. All right, agreed to all that you have said. Then I ask myself, is that all? You follow? Or is there an action, something entirely different? If that is all, then it's all right. You follow? It's all right, we'll make the best of it. Not mix status and function and keep the animalistic as simple, as clear, as dignified, as unharmful, not creating enmity, all that. That's all right. If that's all that exists, and that's all right. But my own feeling says, that's all right, old boy, but there must be something, you follow, deep, much more vital, more dynamic, more...
An action that is free of action.
No, my lady, you're just explaining it. No, I don't want explanations. I want to find out what that find out, swallow the pill.
See, when you say that your feeling says there must be more,
I ask myself, am I because I am disappointed in not having a status, not having enough food, not having enough clothes, therefore there must be. You follow my escape, that would be. Something better, which is what most world people want. So I say I'm not escaping. I've looked at all this and I say, what is action then? Always the squirrel race, the rat race, the monkey race, the scientific race, the mathematical race, the family. You follow what I mean? Keep on that. Now, how do you find this out? Huh?
Est-ce qu'il y a une action qui existe avant la conscience?
Oh, je n'en sais pas. No. Sir, look, Craniolini, that's not, ce n'est pas l'issue. Vous savez, how do you find this out? How do you find out if there is any other action other than the animalistic action? Animalistic being extended as wide as possible, as high as possible, as refined as... It is still in that field. Now, how do I find out? Find out in the sense, taste it, know it, feel it, live it, comprehend it, be in my blood. You follow what I mean? How?
That is, how can we be of it?
Huh?
How can we be of that
Yeah,
action.
well, yes, sir, don't translate what I've already said. Just look at what I'm talking. How do you find out? What is the process of learning, which is discovering, which is finding? What is it, learning? I want to learn about that. Not, you follow? I want to learn about it. Not you tell me and I say, yes, I agree or disagree. That's all too silly. Right, sir? I want to learn about it. Huh? What is the process of learning? No. Oh, dear. What is the process of learning? When do you learn? Huh?
Seeing something completely and then let it drop.
No. When do you, sir, you're all, when do you learn, sir, anything? Huh? Huh?
When you want to do it first, what you're interested in.
No, when do you, when does the boy learn? When he knows nothing. Huh? And then you pour a lot of stuff into him and he says, I've learned. Right? No?
It's one kind of learning.
That's one kind of, but I say, what is learning? And I want to learn about this, if there is this action or not. You follow? I want to learn. So I say, no, wait a minute. Before I begin to find out about, I must learn what is the act of learning. What is learning?
Start from this emptiness.
It's so why don't you see this, sir? The boy doesn't know.
Yes, I know.
Why don't you say that?
But that I mean.
And you don't mean that. Emptiness.
But I do not know this.
Definitely mean that. I don't know. I don't know what this action is. If there is or if there is not, like flying saucers. I don't know. Huh? Haven't got to believe in flying saucers. I don't know if they exist or not exist. People say they have. People say they haven't. All the rest. But I say, I want to learn about it. So my attitude, my state is not knowing anything about it. Very simply. Not emptiness that I'm, etc. I don't know anything about it. Right? And I also know that nobody can tell me about it. Right? If you tell me about it, and I accept it, you become my priest, all the rest of it, I follow the monkey race. Right? So I must first find out what is the state of the mind that learns. You might tell me, you follow? But I will learn from what you are telling me, not swallow the pill. I wonder if you... So I must first find out what is learning. Right? So when does the mind learn?
It can learn only when he's silent.
No, sir. You are making the problem so difficult.
Well,
When you say, I'm not silent, then what is silence? How am I to get it? Look, we have discussed yesterday and partly this morning the animalistic activity. Refined, noble, ignoble, extensive, limited, all that. We know that quite well. We are quite familiar with it. Now, I am asking myself, is there any other action? I really don't know. You follow? I really don't know. That's a fact. I am going to find out. That means I'm going to learn about it. And to learn, I must say, be careful. You must first, before you begin to learn, find out the state of the mind that is capable of learning. Huh? Right, sir? I'm going step by step, right? What is the state of the mind that is capable of learning? Huh?
Has to be fresh.
You are making it so difficult for me.
Don't you have to find out why you put that question?
Oh, I will find out. That's fairly simple because it seems so shallow. It just seems so shallow, empty, tawdry, petty, this everlasting monkey race.
Can you say it's not that, and then leave it at that?
No, no. I'm answering Suarez's question. He says, why do you put that question? If there is another actor, because I say, well, it's all right. It's very nice. Have a Rolls Royce or Mercedes or a Ford or whatever it is. Have it. Monkey race, monkey race, monkey race. I say it's all right, but it seems so empty. All the national galleries, music, concerts, sex, climbing. I say, well, good God, right? And it is not I'm fed up with it. Or it's not that I'm escaping from it. I say that's all right. So then I say to myself, is there any other activity? And I want to learn from you, or from anybody. Learn, not, yes, that's right, I agree. I don't know, there is vast difference. Then now you become my authority and I become your pupil, brush all that stupid stuff aside. And so I say to myself, before I learn, before there is learning, what is the mind that learns? The state, you follow? Quality of the mind.
The one that is in state of not knowing.
Which means what? I really don't know. Huh? You understand? I really don't know what that action is.
You mean to say that you don't go back to any of your previous memories?
Absolutely, I said that.
Right now. Whatever you had said before doesn't count.
Of course, I don't know. It doesn't mean I'm bringing over my squirrel memory of collection and bring it over here. I really don't know.
Yes, you see, I think there's an unconscious assumption on most people's part that you actually know.
I
mean, one feels that.
I know, then we are fooling with ourselves.
Yeah, I just wanted to say.
I know, I really don't know. I'm going to learn. I'm doing it now.
Yes. But this is the fact which is hard, which we have to understand.
Yes. And you're doing it too with me. We're both of us learning. Not that I know, and therefore I say, by Jove, I want to teach them how to, I don't, so you don't exist at all in this. You understand? I'm working, I want to learn. Not you, the audience, I, the speaker, communicate, all that stuff, I don't. So it's very interesting if you go into this step by step, you're not willing to do. We are not being enough patient, enough minute movement. You follow, sir? Without any jump, centimeter by centimeter.
In the state of not knowing, you can look at facts.
No! You see, you are already jumped. You are not, we haven't listened, doctor. Sorry, I'm not being rude. When I say I don't know, I really mean I don't know. Full stop.
So it's necessary for us to mean the same thing.
Of course, otherwise you and I won't learn.
Yes, but this really is something.
That's just what I'm stopping. I keep on repeating that. the squirrel movement is conceited movement. Full of vanity, and say, well, I will know, I don't know, I'm going to tell you, we'll find out. Here when I say I don't know, I mean I don't know, without any qualifying element in it. And I see that is absolutely necessary to learn. Because in this, I really don't know, is an absolute state, not a conditional state, which is I will know. Or I have known, I'll come upon it.
Somebody will tell me.
Excuse me?
Why is there a lack of humility in knowledge? Or is that
Because I'm not at all sure the animal is not still pursuing, you follow, trying to put out its claw into this thing. All right, I see the absolute necessity, not a conditional necessity, the absolute necessity of a mind that is willing to learn. Right, sir?
it can't accumulate?
The moment it...
Yes, even when you learn this, it will be gone. You can't accumulate it.
No. You see, that's why, if you go into this, it's really quite extraordinary. The drum is always empty. Both factually and actually. Actually it's empty. Otherwise you can't make the right tone.
Saying that there's a tremendous conditioning against this. I mean, it's pushing away. I mean,
I know.
Pressure is too strong.
Huh?
Pressure is too strong.
Well, I don't know if it's too strong because that's already.
Well, it's up to you. It's up to you.
But it's the same as saying that since we were children, the teacher stood up who knew, and therefore you're automatically in that position.
Yeah, no. That's why I'm pushing you off all the time.
Yes.
Because you see, sir, if the interest, the demand, you follow, is vital, that you must learn, and there is only learning, right, not accumulating, then you don't have to push the squirrel movement. Right? I want to look out of that window and look, because to me that is tremendously important. And no other interest. There is nothing happens. You follow? It isn't that I am not interested in the other, but that is tremendous interest. So I want to learn. Please don't say I want to learn all that. Learning is tremendously important. And the animalistic movement has no importance. It doesn't play any part in it. I don't have to resist. I don't have to build a wall. There is nothing. It's finished. So I see how important it is to have a mind that's completely in a state of not knowing. Right. Then I'm ready to learn. The mind is ready to learn, not I'm ready. The mind is ready to learn. Now what is there to learn? Learn about something it has never known. Right? It is not in a position of recognizing it. That would mean memory. I don't know if
I mean, it's logic.
Yeah, logic. So, something it must learn about something it has never known, never experienced, never tasted, never experienced so as to recognize it. So it does something it doesn't know at all.
Is there something which has no similarity?
I can't have.
Yes, to anything.
Similarity, recognition, it can't. Because otherwise I would already know about it.
I mean, even if you know a part of it.
That's conscious or therefore we talked about it. You follow? The whole monkey business is that conscious, unconscious, recognition, similarity, dissimilarity, division, agreement, Now I'm learning about something, mind is is learning about something it has never known. Is that possible? You follow, sir?
Yes,
You follow?
I don't know whether one even believes that it's possible.
Let's just do.
Because of what you believe is in the knowing.
The state of being empty of anything that believes or knows.
What you believe and what you imagine.
All that.
So, no
Whole
more.
works,
You can't
whole
do-
monkey works. We know it. It's not a matter of belief, or I believe or I don't believe. I'm trying to find out what is, the mind says what is learning and what is the state of the mind that learns. That's all. Even about how to cook. You see, it seems to me our difficulty really is that the totality of the animalistic movement hasn't been grasped immediately. And it only can be grasped immediately, not passed by it. And seeing the whole of it, it's all right, finished. Not finished in the sense you don't enter it. It has it.
It's finished at that moment, is that?
Yeah, finished at that moment, it finished, I know its complete significance.
But you don't depend on having known it.
No, that's it.
You say,
I know, it's like saying, I know, I've seen this, you know.
Okay, so this is the difficult step, of course.
Of course.
You see, because you remarked about learning to cook or to do something, one feels that one learns it gradually. I mean, but you say something else. You
Yes.
say, now, for example, one thinks, well, I cook a little better today than yesterday, but isn't that so?
Quite. That is, accumulating knowledge,
Yes.
the better, you know better, I don't know, the division, the conflict, the accumulation, and then I will one day know as much as you do, or perhaps more,
Yes.
pass you by. You follow?
Now, if we could clarify, say, in some operation, mental operation, what you mean by this, by real learning.
I'm doing that. I'm
Yes.
saying learning implies the primary state of not knowing.
I mean, learning is a state of mind, and what you have learned may be useful, but
It stops you, if you bring that, it stops you from learning.
yeah, but we always have the impression that we do learn more. You see, we must get it clear because,
Yes, sir. I mean, that's fairly clear.
but I mean, there is this possibly
Yes,
confusion.
of course.
Because, let's say we're going to school and each day we learn a
But
little more.
we said that, sir, accumulation.
Yes, but we have to be very clear.
I know,
It's not-
moment I understand that significance and the nature of that word accumulation, the more time,
But don't you think that when you drive a car, you actually do learn to drive better?
of course I drove it, I know.
Yes, no, see, the distinction is not quite, it's a little confused, I think, it's, at least in my mind. I mean, we want, there is a state of learning which has
Yes.
nothing to do with that.
Yes, that is merely cultivating its improvement, habit, a mechanical accumulation.
Yes, now, you would suggest even when you drive a car, we should really learn. And not,
I was watching myself yesterday very
Yes.
clearly.
yes, which would make it much more interesting.
I was driving a car, I was learning, I was watching, we follow, because I'm driven for some time, and I was a little apprehensive. Not my car, it was somebody else's car, and I had to be very careful. The roads here are very narrow. I was learning, I was all the time on top. Because, you follow?
Yes, I see that. Because we would like to go to sleep, say we know, and then we can do something else. Do you see? Is that the
That's right. That's all part of that.
Yes.
Well, let's leave that. Don't keep on battering that thing. I mean, if I drove that car, say, for another week or two, I'll be quite, you follow? Sufficient enough to run along. And I shan't then pay complete attention, you know what I mean, all watching. That's simple. Then it becomes instinctual, mechanical, and I will add a little more, a little less, I'm more careful, that's simple. Now, you're not coming to it all, we're just...
Well, it may be necessary to clear
Yes, sir, it's clear now, it's sufficient, isn't it, sir? Right? And that's why we introduced status and function, and all this whole business of it.
Is it that this learning is both something we have never known, something that we cannot know either?
No, wait a
Something
minute.
that we cannot know in any sense of
Look,
permanency.
when you were a boy, you learned. Because your mind was fairly young, innocent, and you were learning.
Yes.
But the moment you accumulated, you learned in order to accumulate. Which was quite a different mind. The innocency was lost.
You say that you've never known learning because as soon as you know it, it's not learning.
Of course.
You see that?
Yeah. Now, when I say I don't know, my mind says I don't know about it. It is in a state of that innocency of that childhood who says, well, why is that star bigger than that star? And the father tells him there's so many, and then next day it has become a memory, and you can tell that that star is finished. Then he is functioning from mechanical knowledge and not learning, right?
Yes. It has its place, but we're not interested.
Right. Now we're be clear enough, right? So there is the animalistic action with which I am quite familiar. I know all about it in the sense as much as one can. No, one knows all about it immediately. You can expand it and contract it, you can, all the rest of it, one knows it. I'm not saying I know it in any sense of conceit. It's like, I walked that road 100 times, I know it. Seen every tree and all the rest. Now, from knowing that, not escaping from that, I say, is there any other activity? Now, please let me go step by step, right? I know I'm quite familiar with the animalistic activity. And when I put the question, is there any other activity, it's not an escape from the animal. And I want to learn about it. Because nobody can tell me about it. If they told me, it would be accumulative. Because it's accumulative, then you would become my guru, my master, my holy man. And you would supply me with the knowledge, and I would go back to the squirrel. So, I want to learn about it. I see there is learning only when the mind really sees that it doesn't know about this action at all. Actually doesn't know. And when it says it doesn't know, it means it doesn't know. Not that it will recognize when it happens, or when somebody tells it, or that state of expectancy. It says, I don't know. No, right. Now it is in a state of learning. Now what is it to learn? Learn about something which it has never known. Wait, we're going to do it. Which it has never known. Do you see what has happened, sir? Huh? Come. What?
If
Dica
I
in
consider
italiano.
that in this state of learning that you spoke about, the question is there another action is out. The state of learning, why you connect the state of learning of this asking, is there another action? There is not a square action. I am in a state of learning. What happens does no matter. is not connected with one particular question.
Right. But there is a particular question.
This
It may be in a state of learning, therefore it will learn about everything.
yes.
But it is asking itself a particular question. And that question may reveal the whole of it. Because all life is action. And now you're not.
Some questions are more.
Well, of course, of course, of course. You see, you're not following this. English is probably a difficulty of language.
No, it's not.
Let's proceed.
There is
We are-
something.
Che cosa? Sì. Avanti, signore. Dica in italiano.
Dico in italiano.
Sì.
Anzitutto il fatto che io sia in questa posizione di conoscere, di capire, learning, is conoscere, capire.
No!
Learning, imparare. To learn.
To learn. To learn.
Imparare.
Not to know.
Conoscere, capire.
Now!
Imparare.
Capire is to recognize.
Apprendere, imparare.
Ma la difficoltà è questa, che questa voce learning, che è imparare, è posta di fronte a una domanda. Normalmente una domanda in me esige una risposta. Ora, questo processo invece di imparare non è un processo che con una risposta viene bloccato, tac, finito, no. È un processo che si innesta e continua.
I'm doing it.
Ma allora io chiedo di nuovo, perché questo processo è posto davanti a una domanda?
No. It is we are interested in one question for the moment. I may want to put it another way tomorrow. Lei capisce?
Sì, ho capito. E se io pongo una domanda, c'è un altro modo di agire che non sia lo spiral action? Nella domanda stessa, purtroppo, nel mio stato, la mia immaginazione fabbrica già la risposta. Questa è la difficoltà.
Ecco, abbiamo detto tutto questo.
Lo so, ma insomma, questa però è la difficoltà. Siamo lì davanti a questo.
We have
Siamo
finished
lì
with
davanti a
that.
questo.
No, we have not finished it.
With a squirrel, we have.
No, Davidas, be careful, we have not. We don't, this means something tremendous. It isn't just, we have finished. Come on, let's go on with the next question.
Non è la stessa. Is there an action o c'è un altro modo di agire? Ha già presupposto la persona che agisce. È diverso.
Ci siamo fermati qui.
Is there another action or is there for me another way of acting are two different questions.
So we are speaking about the state of learning, and occasionally this state of learning is against this question. Occasionally, but tomorrow perhaps is against another question.
Adesso
Well, maybe.
bisogna avere questo stato di learning.
You see, I know his difficulty very well, don't you know? You know your difficulty, don't you?
I know my difficulty.
No. You looked at that yesterday, didn't you? Look outside of that window. Look out, look. You see one hill, don't you? So what do? You see one hill and somebody else sees the whole thing. The clouds, the shape of the clouds, the light, the shadow, the green, the waterfall and the light on that waterfall and the huts and everywhere. Not mystic, poetic, sees the whole thing. In that same way, he sees the whole activity of the animal. Whole of it, not just one per sex, money, you follow? The whole of that. Then he says, is that all? It's all right. It has its beauty, it has its pleasures, its sorrows, its ending and all the rest of it. Is that all? That's a normal, intelligent question, isn't it? Which doesn't mean he's escaping. Which doesn't mean he's just one question. You're stuck with that one question, as you're stuck with that one hill. So, he says, what is action? Is there any action apart from this animalistic action? Animalistic action includes all of it, not just one, right? The animalistic thoughts, his speculations, he's going to the moon, he's going to the under the sea, and Cousteau's breathing apparatus, it's all that one activity. Going to the office, breeding children, the mother, the child, the quarrels. All that is activity. And he says, is that all? Not as a single question. Huh? Because that question today, and next question tomorrow.
It's the only question, in fact.
It's the only question. Because all that is activity. He's sitting down cross-legged meditating, this, all that is activity. It's not one action unrelated to another. They're all related. Which is again very simple. And so seeing the whole thread of every action, and seeing all the motives, and says that whole field is the animalistic action. His gods, his myths, his painting, poets, all that, right? Oh, for God, move. So he says, seeing the one act, all that is action, he says, is that all? Is there another action? Not as a single question, but which is the natural outcome of seeing the whole of action. This is why, right? It's not. So learning can only take place when the mind is not cluttered with knowledge as accumulation. Right. We went. Now, what is there to learn about something it has never experienced, never known, never been told? What it has been told is still knowledge, therefore all that. So I say, what is there to learn about something it doesn't know, right? Huh? Right, sir? Right? How is the mind to learn about something it has never looked at? Proceed.
But mind is curious to see what it is since it has never seen it.
Go ahead, sir. Be curious.
No, it stops searching. Searching and curiosity is still the animal. The mind stops searching and wanting.
That's it.
Are you waiting for me? I'm afraid you'll have to wait. See, look, sir, what we have learned first. You follow? What extraordinary thing has happened. That by looking at that out of the window, you have seen the whole activity of the animal.
Would you say this activity is the oldest thousands of urges?
The whole gamut of
The
it.
whole thing.
It can't be stopped because it's place. You follow?
It's what?
It's place. Except the brutal animal instincts and all that. That has no. But the right. So what has happened to my mind, to the mind, in this process?
All I say is that it begins to leave this activity go.
No, what has happened to the mind? And you'll see, you'll see. I looked out of that window and I only saw one hill, not the clouds, not the roofs. I only saw the trees on that hill. And you said, look out of that window. Why don't you see the whole of that? The many hills, the waterfalls, the snow, the glaciers, the road, the many roofs, the animals, the color. You see it all. Now, what has happened there? What is it? I only looked at the hill. Yes. You showed me the whole of it. And I said, by Joe, how true that is. Huh? Silly ass, I've only looked at that one hill. Huh? Now because you point, you follow? I've learned, haven't I? Huh?
Well, you're always learning.
Wait. No, I'm watching what has happened to the state of my mind, which only looked at one hill and now sees the extraordinary beauty of that whole thing. It has become much more sensitive, hasn't it? Huh? Right, sir? Now, proceed with that. Then we say, look, our life is an animal life. Accumulating, gathering, dividing, conflict, everlasting quarrels, the ugliness, the beauty, suffer, death, love, hate, suspicion, all that. And I never looked at it as a whole. I looked at it in relation to my particular hill. Right? And you said, look, there's the whole hill. So you moved me a little further. Outwardly, you moved me a little further outwardly. And also inwardly, you moved me.
I meant to move outward.
Yeah, outward, expand, inwardly, outwardly. And then we said, it's all this activity is animal. It's gods, it's ceremonies, it's fears, it's all that. I say, by Joe, how true that is. You haven't convinced me, you haven't brutally, argumentatively forced your belief, you showed it to me. You showed it to me. Yes, and I said, but how true? So I've become much more sensitive, much more aware, much more intelligent, much more. You follow? More. Right? And you say, look, the more is still the animal. Because it's accumulating. Right? Right, sir? So you say, look what you're doing. That's you're back again in the animal. And you say, that's all I know. And lean back. And then invent phrases. I lean back because I can't have, I haven't got any vitality, energy to push through. And you keep on battering at me. And I keep on repeating different words, the same thing. I don't let that go because I really don't know how to let it go. Not let it go. That's all I know. And you say to me, of course you know that. Leave it at that. It has value. You can't let that, you can't destroy it. It has its value. All right. But I keep on bringing that valuation into something else. You want to tell me something. You want to inquire into another activity, if there is, and I only know this, and I try to bring that activity into your question. Into your question, not into that. You put that question with quite a different intent. The intent being that you really don't know. You follow? You are learning. And I bring my acquisitive, accumulative instinct and say, yes, I'll follow you. Now you say, look, don't do that, because you can't learn that way. And that's where our difficulty is. I have become sensitive, I have become very clever in arguing with, because we have discussed subjects. I'm skillful in words, I'm skillful in patter of the monkey, and that's all. So, but in the meantime, not in the meantime, but in this whole process, my mind has become astonishingly, this mind has become astonishingly agile, astonishingly aware, sensitive. It knows its movements, right? Status, position, function. It has opened the book and has seen everything in there. So now I'm beginning to realize, by Jove, it's all one movement.
But I see more and more of it.
Yes, more and more. And I can go on. More and more.
Never finish.
More and more.
I already say that it can't be different from this movement.
Yes. The squirrel, the monkey can go on and on and on, right? And the intelligence which the monkey movement has created, right?
I mean, you use the word intelligence.
I'm using that word purposely in the sense the intelligence which the animal has developed during these centuries, that intelligence is by Jove, is that all? Not a superior intelligence. Huh? Right, sir? Huh? That intelligence says, is this all? Therefore, that intelligence is not trying to escape from.
It's merely acquiring factual.
Factual. Then it says, well, how am I to find that out? Not that there is or that there is, but if there is or if there is not, I must find out, right? It's simple, sir.
Yeah, it's simple, but you have to.
Yeah. So that intelligence has put the question to itself, and that intelligence says, I can only, that's what I'm trying to get at. That intelligence says to itself, I can only respond to that question with this, in this movement, of the animal movement. The intelligence realizes itself.
What do you mean by that?
It comes across itself.
It ceases.
Not ceases.
No.
It ceases. I said it
The intelligence which has been developed by this discussion, you follow all the rest
This
of it.
animal intelligence sees what it is.
Introduced it.
Is that what you mean?
Huh?
This animal intelligence sees itself.
Sees itself and asks itself the question if there is
If there's more.
More.
But more is still.
More. And so I said, somebody says to me, don't put more. And I said, but you're quite right. If I put more, I'm back again. So the intelligence has awakened to itself and won't put the question more. Huh? Right?
Yes, there's no meaning.
Yes. So that intelligence now says, I'll be on tremendous guard not to let the animal come in and inquire. Right?
No more fooling around.
Yeah. No, madam.
That's too definite.
Yeah, that's too definite. No, I'm just. So the intelligence says now, I know exactly where I am. The animal, and I'll be very watchful not to let the animal come back and ask the question. Right? Right, sir? Now, wait a minute. That's all. Let's stop there a minute. So the intelligence knows the movement of the animal.
It's all over.
And it knows the movement of the animal. Therefore it says, any movement I know. I'm on the top of it. Really? Right, sir? Right? Right. So, any whisper, any movement, intimation, any activity of the slightest whisper, the intelligence there, say, look, stop. Right? Intelligence says, you have your place, ordered, healthy, sane, good, all the rest of it, you have your place. The squirrel, monkey. Now, I am now trying to find out something where I am so aware of your movement, I'll prevent you from creeping in. Right. Now look what has happened. From this point, look backward and see what has happened.
The squirrel has been quicker than
No, that's too clever. That's not it. You're being clever. For God's sake, don't let's be clever. Look what has happened. I say no. Before I proceed, you follow? Or stop, what has happened? See how extraordinarily the dormant intelligence has become tremendously awake. Which is not the animalistic intelligence, right? There is the animalistic intelligence, but it has moved away. Right, sir? Now, that intelligence is asking the question. Do you understand? That intelligence is standing in the doorway and not letting the squirrel come through. Right? It's Jason, not Jason, follow. Not mythology. You know Jason mythology? Right. The double-head gene or whatever it is, God, the Greek God. So, it stopped the activity of the squirrel. Now it says, I'm going to look. Right? I'm going to ask that question. If there is any other activity than this superficial, narrow, limited activity of the animal. And that intelligence says, I really don't know. And I have to learn about it. And that intelligence says, how am I to learn? I can only learn when I really don't know. So it is higher up in, sharper in intelligence. Right, sir? Huh? Much more sharp than it was there. It's quite a different quality. No?
Maybe the intelligence is faster than it was before.
Yes. No, it's quite a different quality. There it was accumulative.
Well, now there's no interest in accumulation.
Now it is altogether of a different dimension. No, don't use the word aware. No, please.
Awake.
No, I don't want to use those words. I want to keep intelligence as it is, what has happened to that intelligence.
It was rather dormant.
No. You see, now
It was routine.
So I've been through all that. I
Yes.
won't go through all that over again. I won't go through all that. If you haven't...
I feel it compares it too much to the ordinary
Yeah,
state.
yes,
It brings it in too close a relation.
Really, that's right. Here, the intelligence is of a totally different dimension and quality. For the simple reason, the intelligence is no longer accumulating, right? The intelligence that doesn't accumulate and the intelligence that accumulates are two different things.
So we can't oppose them.
No, I've said that. I've said that. No, we've finished. No, please, I told you, I'm standing, this intelligence standing at the door. It's not opposing, it's the door. From this room, it will go...
That the other, you're not pushed aside the other touch, just so that it has its place.
I whispered, shouted. Don't keep on going back.
No, that wasn't what I meant. It's the same that...
No.
That has transformed.
Yes, all right, that has...
We are in reality.
Yes, that has transformed itself. That has not... You see,
well, anything,
that has...
But
because it has put the question of something it doesn't know and is going to find out what that means. It is altogether in a different state, different quality, different dimension from the other. That's all, madam. Right, sir? Now look what's happened. What's happened, sir? Huh? I don't... The intelligence has already touched a different dimension. Huh?
Sometimes it seems possible.
You have done it now. No, that's here.
Yes.
Huh? I don't know anything about new, old. It has reached a different dimension. Right? Before it was collecting, arguing, discussing.
Yes. Well, you mean it's basic. The mode is different.
It is altogether different quality. Right?
Yes.
Now, that's all. Begin there. Leave there. Let's leave it there for today. It's past 12. We'll proceed tomorrow.
Yes, I think the word different dimension creates difficulty for me.
I know. That's why I threw it away. A different quality, different dimension, different state, different substance, different. I don't know what other
I
word.
would say it's a different process.
It has transformed itself. Huh? That's all. Full stop. By tremendous reason, logic, step by step. Huh? No sentimentality, no self-pity, no emotionalism, nothing, right? It has moved step by step, and therefore it has transformed itself, not through some divine effort.
By learning.
That's
And there's no limit to that.
it. We'll come to that tomorrow.